Alright, YouTube, I thought this might be an interesting video to make. I talk a lot about my construction tool belt, but I've never really talked about the electrical side of stuff that I do. And I've gotten more into electrical over the past year or so, doing a lot more at the job I used to have, and just around my house. I actually have we have several big projects coming up, and I won't really get into those because that's not really the point of the video. But at one point, probably over the winter, I'm going to be running power to my garage, which is currently a chicken house. And after I finish the chicken house that we're building, the chickens are going to go in there. We're going to completely clean out the garage, and it's going to become a outdoor, well, not outdoor, it's going to be in the garage, but it's going to become a workshop. I have the wood shop down in the basement, and it's going to be more like a metal fabricating and mechanical and blacksmithing shop in the garage. So I'm going to need to run power out there. These are the tools that I'm going to use to do it, and this is the tool belt that I'm going to be keeping them in. I've had a lot of these tools for a little while. I've had some of them are newer, some of them are older. But we're just going to get into it, and I'll start talking about it. So probably first and foremost, what you'll want doing electrical work is one of these. This is an electrical detector, a tick stick, a volt alert. You turn it on, and it'll beep. If this was a live wire, it would beep and light up. You want that because you're going to be doing work on wires and you don't want to get zapped. Secondary to that, really kind of like a finishing thing, is when you put in light sockets and power outlets, you're going to want to use one of these to make sure that it's wired correctly. You plug it in, you follow the little code here. If it has anything other than this, take it out, turn the power back off, and rewire it. So, also, we'll just do the outside stuff here. This is just a regular razor knife, quick change blade. This, I mean, I don't care what kind of construction trades work or mechanic work you're doing, you always need one of these. What I like to carry, another thing that I like to carry, not a type of knife that I like to carry, is this here. This is the garden knife that I got and didn't like for use in the garden. I find it's really, really nice for stripping Romex. Get into it and just, it's a nice little knife to do wire stripping with. Get in between the strands inside and just pull, and that hook works really nice for that. And of course, if you're seeing this video, you probably saw the last video. My brand new beater screwdriver. Somebody is out there just dropping something off across the street. I'm thinking it's a beater screwdriver for punching out the punch outs in electrical boxes, for prying, for this, for that. You know what this is for because of the last video. And that is pretty, oh, and this down here, some electrical tape, a few different colors, and the regular electrical tape. I just keep it on this this thing here, chain, I guess you'd call it, thong, whatever. Some writing utensils, regular carpenter's pencil, Sharpie marker. I usually like to keep a couple of different colors, like I'll keep a bright orange one in there too. I don't know where it went though. Here, these are Klein's 9-inch linesman's pliers. These are the workhorse that you're going to be doing a lot of your wiring with. It's got a place that you can cut the wires here. Nice jaws for grabbing and pulling. And even down here, well, not so much on these, but some of them, they have a little spot where you can get the fish tape in there and pull it. But, I mean, you can use these to strip wires. You can use these to pull wires, pull staples, cut wires. These are going to be your most used tool in electrical work. And a good pair like this is worth the money. I got this one from my father-in-law's garage when we were cleaning it out so he could go to the assisted living. And I liked it so much and thought that it was so good because I used it to wire a few lights in my basement, that I thought, oh, that's really nice. I'm going to get another pair of Kleins for my second most used electrical tool. These are wire nips, dikes, diagonal cutters, and again, these are Kleins too. I like the ones that have the bend to them because you can grab particularly staples like the wire staples that you use to secure Romex to floor joist and stuff. You can grab those and pry them right off, which is really nice, really helpful. So I got some of those. This I bought kind of as a wanted one. I mean, I know that sounds silly, but it's an electrician's multiplier made by Husky. You can see the part number there if you're interested in it. It's got places to strip. It's got strip wire. It's got the needle nose pliers there, and it's got these little things down here that you can cut machine screws with. It's basically a simplified version of these here, these electrical strippers. And these you can do a whole bunch of stuff with. You can cut wire here, you can do all your wire stripping. There's crimpers in here for when you're using the little, what are they called? The copper crimping on wiring. There's more places to cut machine screws. You can actually put, when you're making outlet pigtails, you put the wire in there and you bend it, turn it, and it makes that little loop, that little hook that you need to get it on the mounting screws in the outlet or the switch or anything. You're going to be hooking up, and you're going to need to make little hooks in the wire to get on the screws for any kind of fixture, and that will let you do that very easily. Oh, I got that in the way. So moving over here, this is just a simple pair of needle nose pliers that, as you can see, have been through the ringer a little bit, but they're good. They don't need to be anything special, just needle nose pliers for grabbing and pulling, and you can cut wire with them too, but honestly I'm probably going to be doing that with this or this or this or this. So there's a lot of what I guess you'd call redundancy in this, but you want that. You want multiple options. So he's just going here. This is more for EMT conduit, which I'm going to be doing to run power out to the garage. Pair of channel locks. You know what channel locks are. They're just tongue and groove pliers. You can adjust them and get on different size fittings. What I'm probably going to end up doing, one, because it's already starting to come off, I'm probably just going to slick this off, like take this orange coating off, and use that to deburr the inside of the EMT tubing. And just to complement those so that you can get a fastener, so that you can get a tool on either side of a fastener to tighten it, I got a little 8-inch crescent wrench in there. This one's Cobalt. The one that I keep in my construction stuff is a Craftsman, and I find that one to be higher quality, but I'm not doing electrical as much, so it's okay to have a little lesser quality than the original Craftsman crescent wrench. It was a made in the USA CS Craftsman crescent wrench. That's just a Cobalt. It works fine. I'm not saying anything against it. Again, crimping. I've got a dedicated pair of crimpers, and they get a little cutting edge up here. This is for putting those little copper crimp connectors, whatever they're called, on wires. You put them in there, and that crushes them to the correct depth that you need. 11-in-1 screwdriver. It's got, I'm not going to take it apart because I only got one hand, but it's got 2 sizes of flathead, 2 sizes of Phillips head, 2 sizes of the square drive, and I think there's something like 3 different sizes of nut drivers in here, maybe 4. But very useful. Probably one of the better things that I bought off of reading an article online. It's not Craftsman, but it's a good quality tool. I like my Craftsman screwdrivers. You guys know that. Moving along over to here, this is actually pretty cool. I like this thing. This is a multi-tip nut driver. So all the common sizes of nut drivers that you're gonna of nuts that you're gonna run into, and machine screws with a bolt head, you can get to with this. Now, I don't just use this for electrical work. It lives in the electrical bag because when I'm doing electrical work, I'm gonna need it. But I have used this to work on lawnmowers. I've used this to work on plumbing stuff, like the little connectors for plumbing, like a hose clamp or something. I've used this on hose clamps when I'm working on vehicles. It's just a very, very useful multi-tip nut driver. I'm amazed that I didn't buy one of these earlier, because that's how much I like it. So there's all that stuff. There's all the tools, the hand tools, and in here, there we go. I keep just a simple clamp-on multimeter. I think I got this one at Harbor Freight. I'm not an electrical engineer. I'm not even an electrician. But this does everything that I need it to do as far as checking continuity, voltage, that kind of stuff. It's a useful little tool, and I just keep it in there so that I don't have to look for it. And the way that I'll run this, like, if I'm just doing an outlet, replacing a few outlets, replacing light fixtures, that kind of stuff, this will just be a toolbox, and I'll take it in with me, and I'll work out of this. If I am doing, like, when I'm going to be pulling power and wiring the garage after we clean it out, I'm going to take the tool pouch off of my tool belt, and this is going to slide in its place. And I'll have all my tools right there on my side with me as I'm going around. I'll have the left side bag as a fastener bag and as a fixture bag. I can put the wire nuts and the staples and the different things in that. But this is what I use as my electrical setup, because it's nice to have, and this is something that I do. I keep dedicated sets of tools for each trade. I've got a big bucket in the basement that has more of my electrical stuff. It has all of my plumbing stuff. But there's a lot of overlap between the trades. Like, you'll use linesman's pliers in multiple different trades. You'll use the nippers in multiple different trades. The channel locks and the wrenches, you're going to use these in multiple different trades. And rather than having one set that's just going to get completely destroyed and beat up, I have several different sets. And what that allows me is a little bit of redundancy, which is nice. If I were to lose these, I can go take linesman's pliers out of my construction tote. But at the same time, it also saves these tools so that I'm not doing really rough, nasty work with these and chewing them up, so that I can use them to be a little bit more delicate with wiring and stuff like that. And I don't have to worry about chipping the blade on something like cutting a nail. I'm not going to use these to cut a nail. I'm not going to use these as tying rebar. I got another pair of pliers for that. So having and this is also nice because it's like, okay, I have to go wire this basement. Take this with me. And if it's going to be a really in-depth thing, like I said, I'll put it on my tool belt. So it's kind of a modular thing. It lets you do a little bit more, and it keeps everything kind of organized for you. So this is my electrical setup that has been getting a little bit of use and is going to get more, especially over the winter, because that's what I'm going to be doing. And I'll make videos about the turning of the garage into a workshop. But yeah, it's just a Husky bag with a rainbow collection of tools in it. You don't really have to buy Klein. I liked them because I thought these pliers were nice, and I bought these. But there's everything in here. There's Cobalt, there's Harbor Freight, there's Klein, there's Irwin. It'll get the job done. Lennox too. Gardner Bender, I think these here are Gardner Bender. I bought those at the Ace a little while ago because I was going to be doing crimps. But yeah, that's my electrical setup, and that's what I'm going to be using to run power to the shed and run wiring in the shed. So I hope this was interesting. I hope wherever you are, you're comfortable and that God is with you. Thank you.